Okay, situation. Two channels are welded at the tip of their flanges to form a box column. And then you're given the following. The column length is 6 meters. Effective length factor K is 1. Properties of each channel. Take note of that, no? So, kada isang channel daw, these are the properties. So, this is the area, the depth, flange width, flange thickness, web thickness, moment of inertia about X and Y, and then the distance from the back of the channel to the centroidal y-axis is 17 millimeters. So if we would draw the channel kasi, kapag tingnan natin isang channel, ganito yung itsura niya. Ayan. Okay? So, open ko lang. So, ang ginawa, yung dalawang channel, na, kumbaga pinagdugtong at the tip para makabuo ng box channel. So, parang ganito. Parang ganyan. Okay? Kaya lang, kada isang channel, this is the property. So, meron tayong flange width. Ito yun. Bale, ito yung BF. No? So, yung thickness ng flange. Okay? Tapos, ito yung overall depth. Okay? Tapos, ito yung web thickness. Ano pa? Um, Kasi itong centroid. So, yung centroid kasi ng channel, nandito yan. Ayan, nandyan. So, nasa halfway, yung x-axis niya. And then, nasa somewhere dito yung y-axis niya. Okay? Tapos, yung distance na is defined by x. So, ito yung x. Okay? So, ito yung x na yan. Ito yan. Okay? So, yan yung centroid ng, I mean, yan yung properties ng single channel. Kumbaga, review lang natin yung properties ng single channel. So, ngayon, dalawa na sila. Ito na yung, kumbaga, built-up section na to. Ito na yung built-up section. Ayan, yan na yung built-up section natin. So, pinagdugtong lang daw natin yung channel sa tip ng flanges nila to form a box column. So, ito yung cross-section natin, no? So, anyway, for the first question, calculate the actual load P or due to an actual load P of 1,000 kilonewton, solve for the resulting compressive stress. Ito, simple lang yung number one. Pinapahanap lang yung compressive stress. No? So for number one, compressive stress, no? Tawag the FC, is just the applied force divided by the area. Now, yung area natin will not be ano ba binigyan na area? Will not be 5,690 kasi yung area na yan is only for a single channel. So, ibig sabihin, ang total area nitong section na ito ay times 2 lang nitong area na to. Kaya lalabas, our compressive stress would be the applied P, 1,000. Gawin lang natin ito na Newton para maging megapascal yung sagot. Tapos yung area natin is 2 times 569. So see, if you would check the units, this is in Newton, this is in millimeters squared. So therefore, that will give us answer in megapascal. So FC or the compressive stress will be calculated as okay, so that is 87.87 megapascals. Okay, and that will be our answer for number one. So that is letter C. Okay, next. The column is subject to a moment of 278 kilonewton meter about the x-axis. So I believe may typo error dito. I think ang given dito is 270 lang. No? Anyway, let's check later. 270 lang yan. So the column is subject to a moment of 270 kilonewton meter about the x-axis. Compute the resulting flexural stress. So pinapahanap lang flexural stress, no? So tapos yung moment that is in-apply sa x-axis, no? About the x-axis. So that's important, no? Kung saang axis siya in-apply. Dahil to calculate the flexural stress, di ba, we will apply the formula mc over I. Okay, so recall lang, na kapag ka yung moment mo is applied about the x-axis, dapat yung gagamitin mo na moment of inertia is also applied about the x-axis. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, sa case na to, ito yung magiging centroid nito eh, no? Yung x-axis niya, ito naman yung magiging y-axis niya. So, ngayon, magiging doubly symmetric na yung section natin. Okay? So, ang tawag natin sa section na to is singly symmetric section. So, bakit siya singly symmetric? Kasi symmetrical siya sa isang axis lang. Dito lang. Symmetrical siya sa axis na yan. So, sa axis na to, hindi siya symmetrical. Di ba? Kaya tinawag siya na singly symmetric. So, yung section na to, ang tawag na natin dito is doubly symmetric. Okay, bakit? Kasi with respect to the both axes, yung section natin ay symmetrical. So, ano ang isa sa mga common steel section na doubly symmetric is yung wide flange, 'di ba? Yung wide flange natin is an example, is the common example of a doubly symmetric steel section. Okay? So, kapag doubly symmetric na, so basically, actually merong provision na involves itong singly or doubly symmetric. Kaya lang, it doesn't involve in this particular topic, no? Kumbaga, I'm just mentioning na yun yung tawag natin doon sa section na yun, no? Anyway, para makuha natin yung flexural stress, yung moment daw is in-apply about the x-axis. So, bali dito in-apply yung moment pag ganyan. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, ang kukunin natin dito is yung moment of inertia about the x-axis. Kasi yun yung kukontra eh, no? So, Ix. So, anong magiging Ix niyan? Okay? So, normally, kapag magkakompute tayo ng Ix or ng moment of inertia in general, sa summation lang natin yung transfer formula na ICG, moment of inertia about the centroid plus AD squared. Ganyan. Okay? So, sa channel na to, meron tayo ng centroidal moment of inertia niya, no? At ito yun. 6.7 times 10 to the 7. So that is 6.7 times 10 to the 7. So yun yung ICG niya. Plus yung area, 5,690. Tapos D-squared. So ang D-squared, ang centroid kasi nitong channel na to nandito. So pinag-uusapan kasi natin is moment of inertia about X. At kung mapapansin natin, itong V na to dapat perpendicular dun sa axis na hinahanapan natin, no? And in this case, yung distance nito at saka nito with respect to the y-axis is 0. Kaya lalabas dito, wala siyang kailangan i-transfer kasi magkapantay lang naman sila, no? Ayan. Okay? And then, that is for the moment of inertia of this left side channel. Yung right side channel, ganun din. No, actually same lang yung right side channel. So dahil doon, ita times 2 lang natin to. And that will give us the moment of inertia about the x-axis of the built-up section. So bali, literal na 6.7 times 10 to the 7 times 2 lang. Okay? Or that is 13.4 times 10 to the 7. Ayan. Okay? Now, because we are finding the flexural stress of the section, ang maximum flexural stress niya, no, will be existing dito sa extreme ends ng section. Kasi di ba ang itsura ng stress diagram niyan is parang ganito. So, dito sa neutral axis, 0. Yan. Yan, ganyan. Tapos ito yung compression. Ganyan yun, di ba? Tapos ito tension. Okay, so ito yung F bending na to, na maximum. Okay, nandun sa extreme fiber. Okay, kaya yung C natin ay mula dun sa neutral axis hanggang dito. O di kaya hanggang dito. Whichever is you think applicable. Anyway, parehas lang naman yun na D over 2. Parehas lang naman yun na d over 2, no? Kasi di ba d ito? Okay? At ang d natin ay 300. So therefore, yun yung c natin, mc. So therefore, our bending stress or flexural stress is m, that is 270, gawin natin Newton millimeter. Yung c natin is d over 2. And then yung I na gagamitin is 13.4 times 10 to the 7. Okay? And that gives us in megapascal. So ito kasi naka-Newton millimeter na kasi nag-multiply tayo ng 1 million. Ito naman millimeter. Ito naman millimeter to the fourth. So itong dalawang millimeter na ito magka-cancel dito kaya magiging millimeter squared yan. And Newton over millimeter squared is megapascals. So that gives us 270 times 10 to the 6 times 300 over 2 over 13.4 times 10 to the 7. Okay, and that gives us 302.24 megapascals. So that will be our answer for the second question. Okay, that's letter C. Okay? Next, solve for the critical slenderness ratio. So pag sinabi namang critical slenderness ratio, means the largest slenderness ratio, no? Okay, at para makuha yun, for number 3, slenderness ratio is defined as the effective length, KL, over the radius of gyration. So, kailangan natin ma-compare kung ano yung slenderness ratio sa x-axis and sa y-axis. Whichever is larger, we govern. Okay? So, una, kailangan natin makuha yung R. Again, yung R natin ay square root of the moment of inertia over the area. So, para sa Rx, pwede na natin makompute square root lang ng Ix, which is already calculated to be 13.4 times 10 to the 7 over area. So, 2 times 5, um, area is 5,690. Ayan. So, ito yung magiging radius of gyration is sa x-axis. And that is 108.51. Okay, and definitely, makakompute na natin ano yung slenderness ratio about the x-axis. So, binigyan naman tayo ng K. No, ayan. Tapos yung length ito. So, ayan. Gamitin lang natin yun. So, we have 1 times, gawin natin millimeter yung 6 meters over R. Dapat kasi unitless yung slenderness ratio. Kaya kailangan same units yung L tsaka yung R. So, dito ang lalabas na slenderness ratio ay 55.29. Okay? Now, let's also check ano ba yung slenderness ratio about the y-axis. So, Ry is, again, square root of Iy over A. So, kunin mo natin Iy. So, ano naman yung moment of inertia nitong section na to about the y-axis? So, kapag ito naman yung axis natin, so, syempre, yung moment of inertia dito about this axis, ito yun. Ito. Diba? Moment of inertia niya dito, ito. Kaya lang, ito-transfer natin yung moment of inertia na yun dito na. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong certain distance na to. So, meron tayong D. Yung D dun sa transfer formula. Which is, di ba, from here to here, that's our BF. And then from here to here, that is our X. So, therefore, itong distance na to, yan, is BF minus yung X. Okay? So, therefore, IY is summation of ICG plus AD squared. That is, yung I centroidal natin about Y is 2.1 times 10 to the 6. plus yung area, 5,690, tapos yung distance. So, yung distance natin, ito. Ah, yung distance na yan. So, yung BF na binigay ay 80, tapos yung X ay 70. So, 80 minus 70 squared. So, ayan yan. ICG plus AD squared, no? ICG plus AD squared. Para lang yan sa channel na to. Eh, paano naman sa kabilang channel? So, actually, sa kabilang channel, yung I nito, ganun din, about Y. Ito rin yun. Okay? Tapos yung area niya, ito pa rin. And then yung distance na to, from here to here, will be the same as this. Di ba? Kasi ito ay BF pa rin, tapos ito ay X pa din. So, BF minus X pa rin to. So, actually, times 2 lang to. Ayan, times 2 na lang natin. So, that will give us the moment of inertia about the y-axis. Let's see. So, 2 times 2.1 times 10 to the 6 plus 5,690 times 80 minus 17 squared. So that gives us 49.367. And apparently, mas maliit yung IY, no? Compared sa IX. So gusto ko lang i-remind kayo na yung moment of inertia is telling us gaano katiba yung section na yun about bending or flexure. So dito lumalabas 49 lang sa Y. Sa IX, 13.4 times 10 to the 7. So mas malaki ito compared dito. So ibig sabihin, mas matibay siya about the x-axis compared sa bending about y-axis. So, weaker axis ito. No? Kaya dito pa lang, pwede na natin makonclude na ang mag-govern sa buckling, ito rin. Okay? Provided na same lang sila ng effective length on both sides. Okay? And sa problem na to, wala namang sinabi na merong additional support dun sa weaker axis, kaya masasabi nga natin na ito yung mag-govern para sa slenderness ratio. Okay? Anyway, computin na natin yung RY. So, ang RY ay square root of IY over area. Okay, and that gives us okay, 65.86 millimeters. So if you compare once again yung R, yung radius of gyration natin about Y is 65.86. Yung radius of gyration is about X is 108.51. Once again, indicating that the x-axis is the stronger axis kasi mas malaki yung radius of gyration niya compared dun sa radius of gyration about the y-axis. So in turn, kapag kinompute natin slenderness ratio, kasi mapapansin nyo naman, ano yan eh, inversely proportional, eh, no? Inversely proportional. So, kung maliit ito, lalaki ito. Eh, di ba, ang mag-govern for slenderness, critical slenderness ratio is yung mas malaking slenderness ratio. So, anyway, lagyan natin ng values. Ito ay 1. Ito ay 6,000 pa rin over 65.86. And that gives us, okay, so 91 point, let's say 91.10 na lang. 91.10. Okay? And in comparison with this, ito yung mas malaki, so ito yung mag-overburn. Okay? So therefore, our critical slenderness ratio is 91.1. And that will be our answer for number 2. Okay, that is letters. And that's how we solve this problem.